Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good
wherever you are. Today is
August 2nd.
And today we are going to be reacting to what am I supposed to say? I forgot what we're doing. Take two.
We're gonna be reacting to
I swear I can talk. Hold on. Today we are reacting to animated horror stories. The video we're watching is Doctor Vacation.
Doctor Vacation? Doctor? We are reacting to Doctor Vacation.
We are reacting to 5 vacation horror stories.
We are reacting to Doctor Vacation stories.
I was trying to give the video person credit, and I was like trying to remind myself to say that the original video that we're reacting to is by Dr. No Sleep, so you should go check out their channel if you like this.
Yeah.
But that's just not what came out. So we're reacting to 5 vacation horror stories animated. It's on Dr. No Sleep's channel. If you like this video, you should go check him out and see what some of his content is.
Hi.
Ooh, I like it. Dr. No Sleep.
It was the summer of 2018. I had recently graduated college with 2 of my good friends, John and Haley. John had been a close friend my whole life, and I met Haley in one of my college classes. I had a crush on Haley since I met her. She was a beautiful girl, blonde hair, blue eyes, and a small, petite figure. I always wondered what a girl like her was doing single.
Deposit. Haley don't need no man.
Exactly.
We planned on staying for 3 nights, but little did I know, we would be back after just 1 night. We had just arrived to our Airbnb from the airport. The sun was just beginning to set on the New York City skyline.
I love Airbnb, but I have heard some sketchy stories.
Since we arrived at our Airbnb, Haley had been on her phone most of the time. I asked her what she was doing, and she told me it was none of my business. I glanced over.
Rude.
Yeah.
But also equally rude for you to be snooping over her shoulder.
And before she could shield her phone, I saw the Tinder logo. I said, "Come on, Haley, really? A girl like you shouldn't be on Tinder." She said, "I'm just..."
A man like you don't need to be telling Haley what to do.
Well, I'm sorry. Who do you think you
She
are?
ain't your girlfriend.
You ain't her dad either. A girl like you shouldn't be on Tinder. If homegirl wants to be on Tinder,
Let her be on Tinder.
let her be on Tinder. Oh my god, I hope he does. I guess he's not because he's telling the story. But animated him?
Around, and it's harmless anyways. I told her, "You have to be careful. There's a lot of creeps on there." Who knew that those words would force...
We take it back. We were just kidding. We were just joking around. We were just...
But on another note,
having a little
why does
jokesy
every
joke.
single one of our reaction videos just turn into like a hate video for one of the people in the video?
How it works out is 2 ways. One, we just focus on one person and we hate on them the entire time, and it's valid. Or it's happened multiple times where we hate on someone and then figure out something else and then we're like,
never
we were
mind.
just kidding.
I always liked him.
You're such a liar.
Haley suggested we all go out.
Let's go out.
She said she knew of an upscale 2-story club downtown. I said, "How do you even know of a club when this is your first time in New York City?" Haley said, "I saw some good reviews online."
Google.
I said, "Sure.
You think she's lying?
I bet your newfound Tinder boyfriend said to go to the..."
I don't care at this point, like if it did foreshadow something that's about to happen. Him and his little snide remarks, "It's probably your Tinder boyfriend."
Y'all
Getting on my
ain't dating.
nerves. Makes me want to lie.
Homegirl didn't even say she liked you.
Exactly.
The club was about a mile away, so we decided to walk. As we got closer to the nightclub, we started to hear the bass.
Imagine, like, he wasn't sketchy at all. Like, he was just like a normal guy. And John was like, he's so weird. I'm getting bad vibes. We need to get out of here. We need to go.
He's jealous, so he probably would.
As I was in line, something caught my eye through one of the second-floor windows. I saw someone's head pressed up against the glass. The windows were tinted, so I couldn't make out any details, but it seemed like the person was looking in my direction. I thought maybe the person was looking for a friend who was stuck in line. I glanced away and looked back at the window, and the person was gone. After waiting for what seemed like forever, we finally made it inside the club. Haley suggested that we get some drinks before it gets too crowded. John and I agreed and followed her to the bar. As we were walking to the bar, I made eye contact with the guy on the second floor. He slowly started to smile at me. His smile got bigger and bigger. His smile got so big, I could make out every tooth in his mouth. As he smiled at me, he pointed at himself, and then he pointed towards the bar. I looked over to where he was pointing, and I realized it was exactly where Haley was standing. I looked back at him, but he was gone. I pulled John aside and told him what had just happened. John said not to worry about it.
I thought he was John.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. We don't hate you.
We hate your friend.
I went up to Haley and said, maybe we should check out another bar or club. She said, no way. We just waited in line for 30 minutes. Let's at least get a couple of drinks and chill out for a bit. I asked Haley if her Tinder guy was here. Haley said, the guy told me he was here, but he hasn't been responding to my messages. I asked Haley if I could take a look at his Tinder profile. She laughed and asked me if I was jealous. After taking a look at Haley's Tinder guy, I realized he wasn't the creepy guy I saw earlier. The Tinder guy was a buff New York City firefighter.
Catfish is a thing.
You know how easy it is to catfish? You just screenshot photos and put it online.
There's a whole show dedicated to catching catfishes.
Nerd, you're stressing me out.
After thinking about the situation, I knew he had to have been looking at me. But how did this creep know Haley? Or me, for that matter? Finally, Haley made it back to us with a few drinks in her hands. As she was walking up to us, I knew something wasn't right. Haley had a pale look to her face, like she saw a ghost or something. I asked her, what's up? What happened to you? She started breaking down crying. I grabbed her and pulled her into my arms. I said, everything's going to be okay. Tell me exactly what happened. She said, I heard some guy say my name in a really creepy voice. He said, Haley.
I mean this in the nicest way possible. If someone was telling me that someone said their name in a creepy voice and then tried to mimic it, I don't know if I'd be able to hold it together.
I'd probably laugh.
Imagine, like, I came up to you and I was like, a guy said my name really weird. He was like, Les. How do you hold that together?
I mean, I would probably laugh at you a little bit, but then I would try to be serious and help you.
It sounded so close, as if he was standing just a foot away from me.
And you didn't look?
There were so many people around me I couldn't figure out who it was. At first, I thought it was just you messing with me, but then I saw you standing way over here. I knew it couldn't be you. All of a sudden, Haley's phone started lighting up with Tinder notifications. She began reading them and said, oh my God. I said, what's wrong? She said, read this. The Tinder firefighter guy said his account had been hacked and that all the messages that had been sent to Haley were not from him. We bolted from the nightclub and quickly waved down a taxi. We headed immediately back to our Airbnb. A huge sense of relief filled my body. My heart rate started to slow down and I started to feel normal. I pressed the button for the elevator and we all got in. I saw a Snapchat notification pop up on Haley's phone. Haley looked down at her phone and I saw the same ghostly look come across her face again. I thought to myself, oh no, what now? She said, oh my God, I totally forgot I added the Tinder guy on Snapchat before we went out. I asked Haley if she had her location on. She said, yes, I do. Why? I said, that creep knows where we were staying and knows we are right. Before I could even finish my sentence, the elevator doors opened and my heart dropped. Right in front of us was the same creepy guy at the nightclub. He was staring right at us, that same fanatical smile across his pale face. He said, why did you guys leave in such a hurry? We were just starting to have...
And to story one. That was rude. I don't appreciate the cliffhanger.
Did he die? That's how I feel about you not finishing that story. Okay, story 2. My horrifying trip to Las Vegas.
I don't know what happened that night, or what she was planning to do with me. I am just glad I made it out alive. It all started when my friends and I decided to go to Vegas for my 21st birthday. At the last minute, everyone bailed, besides my good friend Dylan. After checking in, a brunette girl came over to Dylan and I. She was drop-dead gorgeous. She had a thick Russian accent. I always had a thing for accents. She had on tight jeans and a shirt that matched the colors of the hotel. She asked us if we needed help bringing our luggage to our room. I quickly said yes before Dylan could even mutter a word. I asked for her name, and she said it was Alexandria. I thought, wow, a hot name too.
Wow, a hot name too.
Alexandria is not odd name.
Wow, you about to have some people coming at you. You're gonna get canceled.
Not saying if your name is Alexandria, you're not hot or that it's not a hot name.
We got to our room, and Alexandria just stood there awkwardly. I completely forgot bellgirls work for tips. I quickly pulled out my wallet and gave her a 20. She smiled and
The
winked
wink
at
was
me.
really awkward.
But before I could even say another word, she turned her back and walked down the hall.
She got that money and
Dylan
left.
said to me, "If you keep tipping like that, you'll be out of money the first night." The first night, Dylan and I bar hopped on the Vegas
Thank
Strip.
God I don't get good
I don't even
tips.
remember getting back to the hotel. My next morning was met with a hangover from hell. Every time I moved, I would feel a pounding in my head. Somehow, Dylan was completely fine. He didn't even feel hungover at all and wanted to go out and party more. I woke up a few hours later to Dylan coming back to the room soaking wet. He told me to get ready to go out. I told him to go out and that I may join him later. Dylan left without protesting. I went to sleep
like that.
and woke up 2 hours later. I felt much better and decided to go to the hotel bar. I sat down at the bar and ordered a drink. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Alexandria. I noticed she was coming towards me. I thought there was no way she even remembered me. She sat down right next to me and ordered a drink. She nudged me on the shoulder and said, "Hey." We hit it off right away. I learned that she came from Russia on a work visa and sent most of her money back home to her family. As we talked back and forth, she started to gently touch me. It was subtle, but I got the message. After making out at the bar for a while, I thought a more private setting would be more appropriate. As I left the bar, Alexandria nudged me. She said, "You're not going to finish your drink?" I didn't even notice I still had anything in my drink. I quickly picked up my glass and downed
They
it.
didn't.
Alexandria chuckled. It wasn't a
Did
friendly
she
laugh.
drug him?
It had an evil
Probably.
undertone to it. I instantly got a bad feeling from her. She yanked on my arm and said, "Let's go back to your room, silly." As we got close to the elevator, my vision started to fade. My legs started feeling like putty. I heard someone ask in the background, "Is he okay?" I tried to cry for help, but nothing came out. Alexandria answered, "He's fine, just had too much to drink." The elevator doors shut, and that's the last thing I remembered. I woke up in my hotel bed. My hands and feet were tied to the bedposts. Alexandria was standing in front of the bed. She was dressed in a white coat, almost like a surgeon. I noticed there were all kinds of medical tools on the nightstand. I heard her say, "He's not supposed to be awake yet." I started screaming. Alexandria quickly gathered her things and left. An hour later, Dylan helped untie me. He had a big smile across his face. He asked, "What kind of kinky stuff did you guys do?" I told him everything that happened, and he was shocked. I went to take a shower to get ready for bed. I opened the bathroom door and was horrified to what I found. The bathtub was filled to the brim with ice. There was a cooler next to the toilet filled with ice also. I didn't know what to think. Was Alexandria a crazed killer? Was she trying to harvest my organs? All I know for sure is that I'm not going to Vegas anytime soon.
See, at least this one had an ending.
Yeah. No, honestly, she talked about sending money back to her family. What if she was like taking organs and selling them on the The dark web.
All my folks that have seen season either 2 or 3 of Riverdale, they know what I'm thinking. The farm.
Anyways.
she's a Riverdale hater. Cancel her.
We got Team
You see, you can't even say it. You can't hate on the show if you can't even say it.
Team Riverdale hater, and I guess stupid. Team stupid and Team Riverdale hater.
You suck. Riverdale is amazing.